Hello everyone and welcome to the workshop. So firstly, I'd just like to say this is my first vlog for over a year. And what a year it's been. I'm not going to go into that too much. We all know what's going on. So we just need to get on and do and stay safe as possible. So within that year, I've gone up to 600 subscribers. And I would firstly like to say thank you to those who are original subscribers for staying with me. And for all those new subscribers, welcome and enjoy all the projects I hope to be doing in the near future. So apologies for not doing very many projects this year, mainly because we've had some family members that have not been too well over the last year, and most of our time and energy have been put into caring and looking after those that have not been too well. Hopefully we've come over that, and a few more projects will be posted onto the YouTube channel. So I'm doing this vlog to bring you up to speed with what I have actually been doing in the workshop, even though I've not been recording stuff, and to show you some of the new items I've purchased over the last year or so. It's not many, and a couple of items that I've had as gifts to the workshop, which is really nice. So first of all, we're going to have a look at some tools. So I hope that will please everybody. The first tool I'm going to show you that I've purchased, or have had purchased for me, sort of, by my wife. It was come to an agreement because we couldn't go on our big 25th wedding anniversary holiday this year. We decided to buy each other a present with the money we got back from our holiday. So this purchase was the Metabo miter saw, and I'm going to bring you in a bit closer to have a bit of a look. It's got a 254mm blade, and I've been after this miter saw for over a year now, and it just warranted buying because my old one was a bit tired, and it was a B&Q branded miter saw, the last one, and this one took my eye at an FFX show in Kent. FFX are a website company that sell tools, and they used to once a year have a big show in the Kent Showground where they had all their tools that they sell on display, and you could go and buy them, and loads of different companies, well-known companies and everything. And this Metabo, I saw it there and actually really liked it when I was shown it by the guys there. Unfortunately that time I couldn't afford to buy it, but thankfully with my wife's present, here she is. I'm just going to get you in for a closer look. So I'm going to hold it by hand, the camera, and just get you a little showing of this miter saw. If you feel like you'd like me to give you a bit of a review on this miter saw, then please leave comments below. I'm quite happy to do that. So one thing that attracted me to this saw were these little side supports that pull out. They've got both sides. Just undo the knob and then just pull it out. And then this one has a little flip up stop. So if you can set that to the right length, then that's brilliant. This is performed really well. I've been cutting some laminate flooring just recently, and it's just gone through it with the stock blade on it absolutely brilliantly. Another couple of things I like on this saw, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's got a good carry handle if you really want to carry it around, i.e. on site and everything. And the way the power lead comes out the back here, and you can see it's got two rails, extraction, like any other miter saw, pretty rubbish, even though it's got a nice bit here to try and collect it, but it's not brilliant. And it's really nice and smooth, and it has a light. It's not plugged in at the moment, but you have a light and a laser on this. And that is my Metabo miter saw. And it was really good out of the box. The fence and everything was square to the blade, didn't have to adjust it or anything, which is great. So that miter saw was my main purchase of this year. I've got a couple of other purchases. And one of those, and if you've watched my video on the lathe of the pepper and salt grinders that I made, you may have seen this being used. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description or a card up or whatever you have to do on this so you can watch it. This is a boring head. These are normally used on metalworking milling machines to bore out really accurate holes down like this. I've used this on my wood lathe and it works really well because you can get a really accurate hole. So if any of you are making rings or bangles or boxes with lids and you can't quite get the right forcener bit, or you're struggling with using the turning tools to get the right size, you can use one of these. It's got a Morse taper 2 end on it, so it goes in my tailstock, and all you have to do is use these screws here to adjust the diameter. I'm just winding the handle on the tailstock and it does it a treat. It worked really well with the salt and pepper grinders. There were some funny sizes on it because they come from America, the mechanisms I had, so I didn't have the right forcener bits for it, and I didn't really want to rely on turning it by hand because I'll be honest, out of practice for a bit, and this came in really handy. I think it's only about £25–30. You can get it from Banggood, Amazon. I think I got this from Amazon, which is some from Banggood anyway, so it's brilliant. And it comes with, hold on one sec, it comes with 9 different lengths of tips or boring bars, whatever you want to call them. Like I say, for £25–30, really good. Really recommend it. Okay, so that's the next one done. What else can I show you? Okay. Right, bit of a funny one this, I suppose. Could be not. Depends on who you are, really, I suppose. I purchased this just recently. It's an Ozito wet and dry vacuum hoover. But it's cordless. It's operated by one of these batteries. It lasts 20–25 minutes, I suppose. And it's proved invaluable, to be honest. I haven't just bought it for the workshop. My main purchase for it, or the main reason I've purchased it, a few weeks ago we had a really big downpour of rain for a whole day here in the UK, and it was probably one of the hardest downpours we'd had for quite a while after a lovely hot summer. My car sprung a leak in the passenger footwell when my wife went to get in it without us knowing, and the floor was completely like a puddle basically. So I purchased this because I went into Homebase to look for one, and this was originally £129.99. Homebase was selling off all their Ozito stuff, because I believe they're either changing brand or Ozito aren't being sold in Homebase. So all their old Ozito stuff they were selling off. Now Ozito, and I didn't know this until a few weeks ago, are actually Einhell, if that's how you pronounce it, but that's a tool, fairly well known tool manufacturer in Germany. And this was reduced to £30 and 1p. When I got the 1p, well, you just put it up for £30. I have no idea, but and it's brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant. It vacuums the car out fantastically. Got rid of all the water in the footwell. We got it. Basically, the channels in the drainage channels in the car had got blocked up, and that's why the water was coming in. I defrosted our freezer with it, and I was sucking up all the water with the Hoover and all the ice and everything from the, and that was brilliant. And now I've put the normal filter in it, and I've been hoovering up all the dusty bits in here rather than using my dust collectors, because it's easier to manage and you can just drag it along behind you and you don't have to plug it in until it needs recharging. It's so much easier and quicker than unplugging and getting a big hose out and everything for the dust collector. So it really is paid for its money. The 30 quid was brilliant. Another thing is that it's been useful for is we've got decking between the workshop and the house. There's one spot where the water just lays, which isn't quite on an angle to get rid of the water to run off. So I just use this every now and again. I just go over it, suck all the water that's laying on there, job done. Brilliant. All right, you have to change the filters now and again if you're going from wet stuff to dry stuff, but it's not hard. So that's another purchase that's been really brilliant, and if they're still selling them, get yourself one. It really is worth the money if you need a wet vacuum cleaner and you want a cordless one. Actually good on job sites, I would say, because I was drilling some holes up in our bedroom for some certain, what was it for? Oh, yeah, so I was drilling some holes in our bedroom for a TV bracket, and I had this up there. As I'm drilling the hole, I've got that underneath, and all I've just done is lift it up. It's easier than trying to find a plug and everything. Brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of kit. I highly recommend it. Okay, so that's that one done with. Next, I'm going to show you this piece of kit, which is second hand, and it's a bench top sander and disc sander. So here we go. This is a second-hand bench sander. I know it as a linisher, to be quite honest, from my old engineering days. It's what we used to call a sander like this, a linisher. And it's got the circular disc sander on it as well. Now unfortunately this cover is a little bit loose, and I'm thinking about actually removing it. Yes, it will expose the drive belt, but I'm sure it'll be fine to take that off. Otherwise it's just going to be rattly around when I'm doing it. I have used it just a test piece because I've only just recently got it. It's one of them unfortunate things where a friend of the family, his father passed away. He had a workshop in the back of his garden where he used to make dolls' houses, and the guy was clearing out his house, and he had a load of machinery and tools and stuff that he was trying to get rid of. I went over there and had a look around. This is one of the items that I purchased from the guy. I did purchase a table saw, but it's one of those table saws where I didn't actually need the table saw. It was worth paying the money because of the blades that were on the table saw. And I'll show you those quick. So here are those saw blades that I was talking about that came off of the table saw, and this was the one that caught my eye. It's a Thrude, I presume that's how you pronounce it. It's made in Italy. It's meant to be one of the best blades produced. and this was on the table saw at the time, and it's in really good nick, even though it's been used, but it's still in really good nick, and it was worth paying the 30 odd pound for the table saw just for this one. And not only that, I got a whole load of, yeah, they've been used, but I can sharpen them quite easily with a little diamond credit card sharpener. Yes, it's a bit laborious going around it and sharpening it, but if they're not too bad, then they'll still cut. And it was just worth paying that money for these ones, even though they're all second hand. But these ones, there's two brand new blades. So that was that purchase. I'm going to take you into my other little room, and we're going to go and have a look at something that I've been doing over the summer. So over the summer, I've been making some food safe wax, finishing wax. Why have I made my own finishing wax? Because I really just felt like it. How did I get to make it? I followed some YouTube video, to be quite honest, from Keith Brown from Rag and Bone Brown. What happened was, whilst looking on Facebook page for the village that we live in, a gentleman posted that he had got loads of beeswax. He's a beekeeper, and his beehives are kept on our local farm, so they're all very local. Obviously they don't fly too far, they go to the nearest place to get their pollen. And I messaged him to see if this was for sale, which he said yes. So I went over to his house, bought a block of beeswax, as you can see, for 10 quid, and discovered on how to make the wax, because I really wanted to use something that had come from my own area where I live and put it on my own products. And I think that's really a brilliant way of doing things. So I bought a little slow cooker, which heats up the wax and all the other things you put in with it, and then got some tins and poured the wax in, and it feels lovely. I haven't actually used it yet on an item because I haven't made anything to make, but I'm about to in a little while. So that is one thing I've been doing, and if you want to know more about this and how it's done and what stuff you use to make it, especially to make it food safe, leave a comment below and I'll try and make a video on it. So we're going to go back now and have a look at something else I've purchased or been given. So the next item I'm going to show you was a gift to the workshop. Any of those people out there that are wood turners, maybe in the UK, not too sure about being abroad, may recognise what this is before I actually tell you what it is, to be honest. So this is a Paul Howard fluting jig. I think that's what its exact name is. This is a fantastic piece of kit, and if you want to see this being used by someone that's used it quite well, pop over to William Hunt's channel. All you have to do is type in the search bar for William Hunt. He gives an excellent series on when he received this, setting it up and using it on his lathe, and all the some projects that he's used this with over the few years that he's had it. Now, as I say, this was a gift to me by a follower of the channel, I was blown away when he gave it to me. One day an email came through asking me to go and visit his workshop, which I duly went and done. Because if you're like me and anyone else, it's fantastic to go and see other people's workshops to see how they lay it out for your own ideas and things like that. So I went round and we had a good chat, coffee, tea, actually turned some things on his lathe and actually had a go at the Paul Howard jig here, and thoroughly enjoyed using it. Unfortunately, the guy, he doesn't want his name mentioned, and I totally respect that. He said, "I'd like you to have it," and I was absolutely taken aback by his generosity, because that isn't a cheap item. It came with the router, a Bosch router as well. The jig, if you go on Paul Howard's website, is a really serious piece of kit. Mainly the reason why he gave it to me is because he enjoyed what I did, realised that I was someone that's quite passionate about what I'm doing, and unfortunately he wasn't able to be carrying on for much longer in his workshop due to health reasons, and he really wanted someone to enjoy and use this piece of item, and I was absolutely overwhelmed when he gave it to me. So I'd just like to say thank you to that gentleman. You know who you are, and it's an honour to be using it. And I'm going to really try, and I've had some practices, and I'm going to start doing some videos on using this item. There is a couple of bits that I may need to get for the machine to use it properly and do some nice designs and stuff, but they'll be coming in the future. So again, thank you very much. So from one viewer's gift to another viewer's gift, and I'm going to show you that now. So this is a bobbin sander, a Dakota make, but it is actually in several different named companies that produce this this type of sander, this type of bobbin sander. And as like I said, this was given to me as a gift as well. I was talking to a good friend of mine one day and explaining to him that I really needed a bobbin sander to finish a project that I was doing that's got a lot of curves on it. He never said anything to me in that point or anything like that, and a couple of days afterwards I got a phone call from him. He said, "Look, Phil, can you come over to the workshop?" He said, "I might have something for you." So I popped over to his workshop and he said, "Here you go." And this was sitting on the bench. Quite remarkable, to be quite honest. He said, "I bought it once, used it a couple of times, never used it again. It's been sitting under my bench for ages, and you might as well have it." And like the other jig, I was absolutely gobsmacked. I said, "I can't take it for free." He said, "Okay." He said, "Make me something then." So I made him something, and I'm not going to say what it is, and he doesn't want anyone else to know who he is for whatever reasons, and I totally respect that. It's brilliant, and I've used this. He's even given me some, I can't even think what the tubes that go on here, the sanding tubes. There's only one thing that's missing, and that's one spindle, one size spindle. I think it's a really small one. Apart from that, it's brilliant. I don't even think it's plugged in. No, it's not plugged in. Yeah, works really well, and it's got a nice cast iron top. And the dust, if you put the extraction hose, it's one of the best dust collections I've had on the machine, to be quite honest. it very rarely shows too much dust. The dust that's on it at the moment has been accumulated from me doing other stuff, to be honest. Yeah, so that's another gift that's been sent to the workshop, which has been absolutely enthusiastically received and works really well on the project. It was the ideal thing for the projects that I was doing at the time. So you know who you are. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. So that is all the gifts and the new tools that I've accumulated over the last year or so. I say to the two guys that gave me those two gifts, absolutely thank you. It's fantastic. Very much appreciated, and they're getting good use. So what I want to show you now is a couple of things that I've storage wise have done in the workshop. It's nothing brilliant, but I just want to show it to you. So previously I used to have my scroll saw sat on this bench. As you can see, it's now underneath the bench, and I had a toolbox, a big red toolbox underneath here, which was taking up quite a bit of room. I really wanted this sander to be in a place that I could get to it really easy, rather than have to keep lifting up onto the worktop. The scroll saw doesn't get used that often, even though I really want to use it more often. But this is going to be used more. So I needed to get rid of the toolbox so I could put things underneath. And the bobbin sander is going to go under there as well once I've cleaned up some of this little bit of mess. So I was thinking on how the best way was to clear out the toolbox without cluttering everything up. So I decided to build some drawers on this side of the workbench, and they've gone in really well. I was really pleased with them. So as you can see, they've got nice big deep drawers. So all my hand tools in there. This one is a bit sticky, but it does close. And I've got all my measuring equipment in this one. They do have soft closers, but they are a bit sticky. Yep, so there's all my drills and drill bits and Allen keys and all other drilling items that are in that drawer. And now I've moved stuff around, it closes properly. A couple of tools, nailer, glue gun, little drill, little multi-tool cutter with its bits and pieces in the box. In this bottom one is all my pencils and tapes and stuff. So that's been brilliant. It's used some recycled parts from a wardrobe that I took apart because we redone our bedroom. Took the old wardrobe down, and some of the panelling in here is what we've been using to make it, plus some and as well as that, so that's one item that I've managed to finish. And this is my big wood storage area. Now this used to be my workshop before I built this extension on it, and I still don't know how I did some work in there because it's so small. So I've copied an idea from Keith Brown from the Rag and Bone Brown channel, I think that's what it's called, using these shelving brackets, and it works fantastic with, I've got some recycled oak planks up there, which I'm really looking forward to getting into and making. It's got live edge on it, but it's coated in a black, which will probably need sanding down and taking off before I do anything with it. But it's holding this weight up absolutely fantastic. It goes right down to here. And then I've got another lot of racking at the back there, which has got loads of pallet wood on and everything. And all this this is all real rubbish and I've got to sort it all out yet. But I had to move it all because I've now got another bench in here. As you can see, I've still got the beeswax and the polish, the food safe wax out. But these drawers, these are recycled from the wardrobe from the other panelling out of our wardrobe. These used to be in our wardrobes. They're nice and deep. They've got glass fronts on them, but you can't really tell what's in them. One of them's got a bit of a dodgy thing which keeps breaking. I've got to sort that out because it keeps stopping the drawers coming open. But it's full of stuff and it's worked really well. I wanted another bench in here because I'm really hoping eventually to get a small CNC machine in here, a laser machine and a router combined, and a 3D printer is my ideal situation for this room to have in here. I've got lots of, I never really thought I'd have a 3D or want a 3D printer, but since I've really sort of thought about it, there is a lot of things that I could actually make with the 3D just for the workshop. Nothing special, just things for the workshop to help out. So that's some of the things I've been making. Oh, just to let you know, this frame that these drawers stand on are actually the old door frame from the door to the old workshop or to the old shed. So I've recycled all that to make a frame for all this to sit on, which was brilliant. So that's the main storage stuff that I've done in the last year or so. So another gift that I got this year was this wood turning jacket. This is a cardigan. The sleeves stop here. This was a Father's Day present from my kids, obviously, because it's from Father's Day. And this is really nice to wear. It's really comfortable. Stops a lot of the dust getting onto your clothes, which is what it's designed to do. You can put the collar up and it's got a nice flexible collar so it doesn't rub on the neck. So if you've got lots of chips flying around when you're on the lathe and they're flying around, it doesn't go down your neck like it has done with the normal jackets or jumpers or whatever else I've been wearing all this time. But this is brilliant. It's got some nice big pockets. You can't really see them. Sorry, I'll keep putting my hand over the lens, but it's got nice big pockets in the back here to put tools in, so you don't have to this is what I've been doing. I've got some screws in the back there for some reason. No idea where they've come out. But there you go. So that's another gift that I received this year. So with that all being said, I think it's time to go now, and I'm going to get on with making some projects and hopefully filming them for you guys to see. So everybody, take care, keep safe, and it will soon be over. Goodbye from me and goodbye from the workshop.